Welcome back to my garden. My name is Robin. I garden in Zone 6 in Northwest Connecticut. So what I thought I'd do today, Zone 6A, did I say that? I've been doing gardening for a very long time, like as long as I can ever remember. So, a lot of things change over time, things come and go. I've had some things, I've had a lot of damage. I talked about that in my tour last week, but there are a lot of things that just did not survive between the drought last fall, the winter, the spring. We've had what happened this spring. It's kind of weird. It was cold. It got really warm. It got really cold. A lot of things have suffered, and a lot of things are, they're in that weird phase. I'm sure they'll recover, but until it really consistently stays warm, I think they're just not going to rebound. So what I wanted to do today is show you a couple things. One, I had to change out a pretty big shrub tree. Well, it is a tree, but it's not a tree yet. That has not been growing where I put it. And I swapped that out. I'll show you that. And then I'm going to show you a project that I'm sort of starting to work on. So let's take a walk around. Please subscribe, hit that like button. It really does make a difference. I really need to up my subscriber count. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get to it. So right here, I took the Skylands Spruce. I'm going to show you where I took it out of. It just was not doing well. I'm not sure why. It has grown a little bit, but it just, no matter where I put it, it just doesn't seem to do great. If somebody has good experience with the Skylands Spruce, let me know. So let me show you what I put in its place, and I'm actually pretty happy about it. So let's go back there and look. Okay, so here's where I took the Skylands Spruce from. And I put in its place a new crabapple. This is a brand new crabapple from Proven Winners called Showtime. And I'm going to read you what their description says. With its extra large, extra colorful blooms, Showtime crabapple puts on a memorable performance every spring. This tough, disease-resistant selection boasts abundant fruit and beautiful fall foliage. And I think it's going to fill in this area really nice. I'll be able to see it from the house where that Skylands Spruce. It would have been a lifetime before I could see it probably. USDA zones 4 through 8 gets 25 feet tall and 15 to 20 feet wide. So here's a picture of what the bloom is. So I really think you're going to see that, which I think will be nice. Again, it has not been warm enough to get the daffodil foliage to die back. So I'm still working on that. Okay. Again, the Brother Stefan hostas look amazing. And the stuff I planted back in that conservation area that I mentioned the other day is doing pretty well. This Hortman Silverlock, I think I need to cut a couple of these leaves to get them off that evergreen in order for it to do pretty well. So let's walk back up. Let me show you. Oh, people ask me all the time what the blue balls are. I did this, I think, for the last 2 years. I saw this on the internet. It is amazing. It attracts like flies, and oh, it works so well. It's a sticky stuff you put on it, and I'm telling you, it works like a dream. So horseflies don't attack me while I'm out here. Okay, so walking back. Another thing I also had to dig up, I put it in a container, is this Dobbs frosted juniper. Was not doing good in the bed I had it in. I have another one that does great, but just want to make sure I don't lose it. So over here, let's take a look. All right, so I mentioned the other day, let's stand a couple of these things back up, because it's been windy as heck. All right, so I mentioned the other day that I want to change the shape of the bed that runs outside the dry creek bed. I love our dry creek bed. We have a variety of size rocks inside the bed, underneath, all throughout, and lined with a variety of different rocks. I love it, and it actually works. So what I want to do, I ordered a Chitalpa. And I know they can get pretty big. I don't know for me how big it's going to get, and I'm not sure if it's going to get as much sun as it's going to want here. But you can see, so what I want to do is as I come down here, I want to swing out a little bit. I want to pop the Chitalpa, out around here and then come back in. So some of the other things that I have to expand this bed, I have another double play doozy because I love doozy, a slow mound pine, got blackout eucharas, there's a whitewoods aster, and this is a firelight tidbit. I'm going to add a couple of more astrantias in here. This one's called Prima Donna. And of course the wind is picking up. I can't win. I hope it's not too bad. And I think I'm going to add, I have lots of Solomon seal, so I think I'm going to add some of that. I got to get some of this cut back. I mean, I have a couple of plants right here and a grass, but as you can see, the weeds take over, but I can't do this because, and neither can my husband, because there's a lot of poison ivy in the undergrowth here. So a gentleman who helps me with my installations is not allergic to poison ivy, and so I need him to come over and do it. So James, if you're listening, I need your help. So that's the project. I'm trying to get this, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of shape I want. I ordered some Corten steel edging so I can make a nice clean edge here. This stuff, Corten steel is not cheap. So, I can only do little areas at a time. Now, my other thought that I'm thinking about, which I can't believe I'm actually even thinking about, is behind this bed here. I'm not sure. We must have lost trees back here. I'm thinking it might be a decent spot for a compost bin because we don't have a place that gets enough sun. And I'm actually thinking we might be able to pop one in here. I don't know. Well, let me know what you think about that thought. Because we could use one, that's for sure, because I hate not composting. I hate just trying to dump stuff and all that kind of good thing. So, I mean, it's a possibility, of course. This pretty hosta is Hope Springs Eternal. That one is Praying Hands. Again, look at the size of this Regerzia. Crazy. So, and then let me give you one last look because I don't want this to be a long video, is the Purple Sensation alliums are absolutely gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, I did order some more supports for them from AgriFrames. It's a ripple support. I have them in the front on my Bulgaricum alliums, and I really like that. So I'll show you that when it comes. So just one last quick look today. I'll see if I can get the drone up maybe, if the wind would ever stop. It's been the windiest, coldest, oh my gosh, just crazy. Oh, let me go show you one thing because somebody asked me about this. So somebody asked me about vegetables, but let me just show you one of my floret dahlias has just opened. Holy cow, I can't believe it. Now I did start these inside, so they're a little advanced, obviously. But let's just take a look. I'm not a huge vegetable person, so don't take any advice from me when it comes to vegetables. So I have my garlic, which I have done for the last few years. I have some kale because I read somewhere that kale can be interplanted with garlic. I did sprinkle some carrots in here, but I don't see any, so I'm going to have to redo it. I've got onions here. And then in the raised bed area over here, or actually, I have a lot of grow bags. They're great. I can move them around. And then, as things finish, I can just get rid of them and they don't take up room. So those are shallots. Potatoes are back here. So I've got bags of potatoes all along here. saving that for tomatoes, more tomatoes, but I don't want to start more tomatoes. It has not been warm enough. I have them all in my greenhouse, but I don't want to put out anymore. So I have tomatoes in here. I love nardello peppers, but you can see things, it just hasn't been warm enough. I do have a couple lettuces. I did Little Gem, so those are starting to put on some size. I did just order the Taste of Heaven blackberry from Proven Winners. I'm going to put it right there and see how it goes. And then while we're back at this bed, look at the size of the black lace elderberry. I think after it blooms, I'm going to trim it a little bit so it's not on top of the cryptomeria or on top of the pine tree. Catinus Winecraft Gold, in case you have never seen one, they're gorgeous. I also have Winecraft Black, but Winecraft Gold has bloomed much better for me. So there's let's zoom in on that elderberry. It's going to have a lovely light pink flower. But it's really, I finally found a spot that it likes. I've already Chelsea chopped my heirloom mums, my asters, my sedum. What else? I'm trying to think what else. And then one last thing. Did I say that already 10 times? One last thing. I'm looking for a suggestion. Okay. So I put a generous gardener in these containers a couple years ago. Now they've done fine. I really like to get them in the ground. I have no idea how I should actually go about that. I'm not sure. I mean, these are not just going to pull out of these containers. They're really heavy concrete pottery barn containers. And don't get me wrong, the roses do fine, and maybe I should just leave them. But I'd really like to get them in the ground. So if you have a thought, I'm open to suggestions. And I think that's where I'm going to leave this video. Like I said, let me come back around. Look at that gorgeous dawn redwood. Beautiful. Regal Splendor Hosta. And we're gonna leave it there today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope I got the audio figured out. I don't know what happened with the audio. It was very weird on the last video. It was like the second clip you couldn't even hear, and I had adjusted all the audio. And when I played that on even on my TV, okay, I had to turn the volume up, but it played fine. So thank you to everybody who let me know. As soon as somebody let me know, first thing, in the morning, I did go in and put a note, please put on closed captions, turn up your volume. But, sometimes these things happen. You think it records perfectly. It looks like it's perfect when you load it to YouTube, and then something happens. So anyway, I'm going to try really hard to do, a bunch more smaller, shorter videos to let you know what I've been doing. I've been feeling a little bit better. And still taking it easy, but hope you have a great week. Subscribe. Hit that like button, share it, and don't forget, I have an Amazon store, especially for the plant tags. Do I have one right here with me? I do. Let me just show them to you again. Let me grab. Okay, here's a plant tag. They're great. They never fall off. They're wonderful. Anyway, have a great day.